Okay, new video. This actually started about a year ago. My buddy Steve here, bought a cottage. It had a boathouse in it that was right full of garbage, and inside was actually a really nice boat. So we're gonna go drag that home and fix it because it deserves a proper restoration. But the only way to get there is by boat. So we have our pontoon boat. We brought a trailer up. We bought a little aluminum runabout that you can keep at your cottage, and then we'll take your, and then we'll take this pretty sick boat home. So stick around, here we go. We got Steve, we got Stuart, and we got Dan, all guys from our quadding trips, but that's actually next weekend, so we're coming up to Perry Sound area and then doing it again next weekend.
Come on, baby.
That was boring, you didn't even fall in. I'm like, your cottage is looking really nice. You did a lot of upgrades, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's your cottage. That's the one. That's right. Like, wow, patio door, Canada flag, go Steve. And in here is a pretty cool boat. I'm pretty excited actually. Steve got the keys because otherwise we would never be able to get in here.
It's like a drawbridge.
And look at that. There she is. So when you got it, it was...
There's like garbage and chairs and old water skis. Like you couldn't stand in there.
So it was right full. Like you opened this up and it was right full?
Essentially.
So you didn't know you had a boat?
Well, there was rumors that there was a boat in there.
Oh.
So we had an idea that there probably would be one. And sure enough, there it is. Probably mid-60s. McCulloch chainsaws made them, I think. But it's a real pretty boat, so we'll see.
It is. And the neighbor said that he'd be surprised if it's got 30 hours on it.
Yeah. So
So it's a brand new boat.
Just has a lot of like bat shit and mouse shit. Like, everything's lived in it.
Yeah. Stu and I actually started working on this engine last year. We're like, oh, cool, let's try and get it going. And we quadded over because there's no way to get here. So our annual quad trip, we made it over, and with very limited tools, we got into it. And then the more we got into it, the more we realized that this is not an old, crappy boat. This deserves to get restored properly, cleaned up, and get everything working. The linkages are seized, and we could not get spark. We got as far as turning it over. I took the carbs home, but basically now we're going to drag it out, but we also don't want to cut any of the shrubs down because it hides everything really nice. So we have to figure out how to get the boat around this corner and into the water.
Or through the trees.
Or through the trees.
I have an idea.
Yeah?
You can go to the front and just kind of lift it.
Oh yeah, it's on its own cart. This is not going to be that much.
I'm not sure what it looks like in the
deal.
Front.
Is it a tripod?
I have a feeling it's a tripod, but again, last time I was in there, it's pretty dark.
It is pretty dark. That is pretty cool.
And I think the windshield, I think the building has settled, so the windscreen is a little bit higher than that.
Oh yeah. That's on a, those are just hooks. That's not a problem. And do you have a sailboat too? Is that a sail?
There is like a windsurf.
Oh, nice.
Thing. I haven't used it yet.
Yeah. And you notice the whole building's made out of doors? It's just doors.
That's why it's not.
This is what happens when you build stuff without permits. Okay, but we're gonna wait for that until tomorrow because it's getting late and we're gonna go fishing, and then we'll tinker with that in the morning. So here we go. There's morning. Slept really good. We got some instant coffee and we're ready to get going on that boat. But I just gotta show you something real quick. Look at that. Beautiful Canada. So just making some breakfast and then we're gonna go fishing first and then we'll get going on the boat. We'll get to the boat, promise. We got Stu?
Late early but bite.
Yeah, you put them back in. Okay, we got everything.
Why do we think that door is keeping this thing standing up?
Ooh, probably can't open that door, can we? It gets like right on the ground.
We'll have to dig it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Straighten out the building then we'll have for a little bit.
We came here to get a boat, not fix your building, Steve.
It's like, you know, gotta do a little bit of each to get it out.
Is the engine tip up?
Probably.
We can at least get it to the... Oh, I don't think the engine hatch is covered, is locked.
We just leave it,
Yeah, it's still got mouse. Yeah, still got some mice living in there. So we were screwing around with it last year. We did stuff the holes right full, and that looks like it's still there, so we're good. Is that a load-bearing door, though?
Well, we'll find out.
The whole cart's moving.
Yeah, there's a little tab I can feel. Looks like it might lock in place.
Oh, nice.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Okay, so right now the building is more of a concern than getting the boat out. So we're just gonna prop some rods across here. The door was kind of hanging on it, and I think that beam that's hanging down, Steve,
Oh, it's keeping it.
is actually like jammed against the two walls. So like we're gonna hammer that out so we can get the windshield underneath, and then this has to go with it too. So the seats are not ripped, they're just extremely dirty. Super simple controls, and then it's got the faux blinds on there, navigation light. Oh, we got a complete homemade trailer here with really cool casters on the front, but the wheels are pretty small. It's still got square-headed bolts holding it together. That is pretty epic. So hopefully those spin. Oh man, the curve of that boat. Like you see the back? Yeah. It's just like a nice swell. That's beautiful.
water leaking out.
Oh. That was fun, huh? Oh, I guess that's
light.
Yeah, but there's no, I thought maybe there's a pole that slid out a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Get the hinge off the top and in the middle. Just gotta get this bottom one. Oh, it's turning.
Do you want to go for a little walk?
Sure.
Because there is like lots of mystery things that could be useful.
Okay.
Because there is a winch in the basement.
Oh.
You want a flashlight? Pretty dark. And that's in there, but there's like this thing.
Oh, cool.
And then I don't know what it was ever attached to. And there's more wheels.
Oh yeah. Like as anything to put a little bit of tension on. This is the coolest toolbox I've seen in a long time.
Yes. There's a cast net in there.
That's cool. We've tied this to a tree, and then we got a bar to go through it. That would do it.
Better to look at it and look for it.
That's awesome. Let's hook up a strap. You got a bar to go through the, big screwdriver. Yeah, there we go. Does that fit in the hole? I'm thinking tie that to a tree so that the winch is kind of here, and then we just pull a little bit at a time, and really all we got to do is stick it on the axle here. Stick the strap around the axle so we're pulling on this axle so the rest doesn't fall apart. It made it in here. I don't think it's going to be that difficult. As center as you can on the axle. Yeah. I think it's okay as long as we don't pull this axle out of the trailer.
So far, I haven't had any respiratory illnesses. That scared me, but I don't think I want this one. Once I get it on the shingle floor.
Right. So I don't think we got Stu on the winch there. Dan and I can even just lift up on the strap as long as it's tight.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go.
Okay, let's
Oh, water.
let's wait here for a minute.
The roof was leaking? What does that say?
Burrowing.
Berwin. You know, the cool part is that hopefully somebody sees this video and knows who owned this cottage and knows who, because we've never met the people, and remembers this boat and says, I made some memories on this boat. Berwin was my grandfather's company that started this blah, 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 blah. It's getting lighter by the minute.
Yeah, you want to get the door, rid of the door on
Yeah. I'll do it. We ready to go? Ready.
we're still good on this side. We might have to pull this one in and kick it in a bit.
Okay, wait. We need some planks for the front casters, but
Oh, how heavy is it? Can you lift it? I think if we back it up enough to get the front end over that way, and
Yeah.
then we'll go either front first, right into the water.
okay.
Or we back through the dam. I think we'll fit between those trees.
That's less work.
Yeah.
I don't know what the.
If Steve's okay with that, then how's that, Steve? Don't tell me you're more excited about that than you are about this vintage boat behind you.
I'm just happy I made it out.
Doesn't have a chainsaw or skill saw or sawzall? Oh, look at that go.
Then it'll just slide nicely over the trees and into the lake.
No, one little chip. We'll get Vince to weld that up. Don't even need to take it off. Make sure the water pump works and fire it up. What are you doing with those? You can build a whole other boathouse with them. you got the waterlogged one?
Not bad risk carrying a door, drinking the Gatorade, and filming at the same time.
Man of many talents. Yeah, I would be. I think that's good enough. And we're just pulling onto our little make-a ramp into the water. Sacrificing the cart.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on.
I think we should take 2x4s or 2x6s and just try to shimmy the ass end that way.
Twisty.
Pretty janky. Hey, is it gonna run away on you? Like, is it gonna plow you guys over?
No, not yet, no.
Not yet. Be careful. I think with it being on the ramp like that, I think it'd feel better tying this off to something. I just don't want to, like, it rolls fairly easy. I don't want you guys to get plowed over. You're going downhill on a smooth ramp.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
1. Okay, so now is a good time to
Tie it to something. If it runs away, it runs away. Just don't be in the way. I got one hand on it, and
Okay, here we go.
but this is why the cameraman never dies.
I'll keep It's okay, I got this on the ground.
on the bottom, right?
Yeah. So if we lift on the front here, it'll go downhill. You guys don't need to be back there.
I got good brakes for another 8 feet.
Awesome.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Is the water gushing in, Steve?
It looks like it has like a full box.
That is pretty cool. First time in decades. Just imagine, Steve, like a nice Canadian flag up on the front here, your family in the back.
I know, it's pretty.
It's such a pretty boat. No sun damage whatsoever.
Useful.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, look at that. Filthy.
Just, and it's already been cleaned. It's right full of garbage, and but because of that, the seats are in perfect shape. I like how it's got the fake wooden boards on it. Just draw some lines.
I can already see it right now. The foam coming out of the bow and the waves as we're dragging it back to the lake or to the boat marina. The boat will disappear, the rope will be gone, I'll be in there with my Tilly hat, the wind folding it back, powering through the lake, my wife by my side, my kids. I can see it now.
Nice. Yeah, I can too. I'm just really excited for. I wish I could videotape the look on people's faces of whoever drives behind us on the highway first, because we don't really have a vacuum. And hopefully they don't have the windows down. Or it's a convertible, because there's going to be a lot of. What is that? But I cannot wait to pressure wash this thing. All right, so it's a beautiful morning. Lake is nice and calm again. So we're basically cleaned up at the cottage. And we're gonna tow it back. We got about 45-minute tow, maybe an hour, something like that, depending how fast we can go. But we'll tow this back home again and then throw it on the trailer and tow it 3 hours back home to my place. Here we go.
Not bad. Not bad.
Went driving all over the lake. Not a single fish yesterday. 3 fish off the dock today. What, you got pike? Is that bass?
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
First things we're gonna do is just take a quick look. We're gonna vacuum all this stuff out because it is extremely gross and toxic, and we don't want any of that on us. We're gonna wash your hands and not breathe any of this stuff in. But there's something we noticed, that there's a water line on the outside of this boat. If you can see that, it must have been in the water, tipped on one side. So it doesn't carry through though. It's not on this side of the boat, which is odd. So either this side was completely under or it was on top. But regardless, the engine turns over and I think we're okay. Just look how beautiful that is. Oh, just, oh man. Now I need to find like a 60s station wagon to pull this to the dock, but I think it'll look pretty good behind the Bronco. Look even better in Steve's cottage when it's all done. But anyway, we'll vacuum this out, and then we'll hit it with some foaming spray just to loosen some stuff up on the outside, and then hit it lightly with the pressure washer, just a wide spray, just to get some of this crap off, and we'll see what all comes up the bottom here. Here we go. All right, so we did a little bit of digging on this. Found out that, you know, we don't know much about these old boats. It's something new again, and I love that. It's actually a boat made by McCulloch, so that is the sticker on the back, and that is our serial number on right here. I think the Royal-Scott is the model number, so it's a McCulloch boat, but it's a Royal-Scott model. And this is the 43.7 horsepower engine. When we went to the cottage last year, with Steve busy working on the cottage himself, he didn't really care about the engine that much. Stuart and I got super excited about the engine, and all the other guys got super excited about the fishing. So they went fishing, and Stuart and I started working on the boat, and that was right full of mouse nests. There wasn't a square inch of it that wasn't covered in mouse nest, but everything that we saw looked like the story is true. Everything came apart really nice. We got the flywheel off. We had no tools, but then once we got into it, we're like, you know what, this is not one of those projects where we get it running and we drive it home and then park it and leave it. We do want to do this one right, because this one deserves to be brought back to original. So we took the carbs off last year. We're trying to get spark and just spray a little bit of fuel in here. We sprayed some oil in there just to lubricate the cylinders, but we're going to go over this. We got to take the fuel pump off. I check the diaphragms, make sure that they're not all dry rotted and all those sorts of things. The thing with a boat is you really need to be safe. The weather can turn on an instant. If you got to get off the water, you got to get off the water. Can't screw around with not having things done proper, and we couldn't do that with no tools. So we thought we'll bring it home and do it properly here. We bought a manual for it already. We got a manual online, so we'll do the things proper that way. And then I think we got a spare engine too, but we're gonna start with this one, and then if we have to switch, we'll switch it over. Pretty excited about this. We did tape the propeller because the linkage is seized. We're gonna lube up all these cables, see if it's just stuck a little. If it's lightly seized, it's lightly seized. If not, we'll replace the cables, do all that good stuff. Also, we got the matching skis and everything with it as well. So we want to clean those up. We got our safety life jacket, all those little things, which is kind of gross. And apparently people were a lot more fit in 1960, because I don't know how you would put this on, but I'm not that fat. The trailer is not actually ours. Trailer is, I think, the uncle of Stuart, and there was a boat on it. They took the boat off. We brought the aluminum boat up so that Steve has another one, because that was just in somebody's shed not doing anything. So we brought the aluminum boat up, and then we brought this thing home, but we don't actually have a trailer for this. So if you're in the Niagara area and you got a trailer of 60s vintage that would match this boat, reach out to us at thebossgarage@gmail.com. We'll be interested in buying that off of you. And nothing has to work on it. Dry rotted tires and a frame, and I will fix everything up, paint it to match the trailer so she's a nice classic gem. But we want to really bring this back to original. I just did a quick wash, pressure wash, and soak in it just to get the feces off of it. And we're gonna do a full restoration on this, which is not that big of a deal. We're not gonna rebuild the engine. We're gonna try and get it running as is, put it in the water, try to get as much of the shine out of the boat as we can. The pinstripes are in grooves in the fiberglass. We'll probably just repaint those and then really clean the interior, and that's it. And then she's ready for the water again. Just like Tom Cotter says, they're still out there. They're still barn finds. This is a legitimate barn find that hasn't seen the light of day in 40 to 50 years, which is pretty fantastic. So we already made a pile of memories this past weekend getting it out, and I hope that I can get this back to Steve in a timely manner for next spring so that he can make more memories with his family. And you need to do the same. Just go out there, have some fun. Remember, if you're not out there getting covered in bat feces, you're obviously not working on an old McCulloch boat. Get out there and work on it. Here we go.